What's up everyone, my name is William. In this video I'm going to show you how you can train yourself over the weekend before the following week starts with trading. Now there's this software that I use in MT4 to train myself on a particular pair, and this software is like a simulator that helps me to get prepared for the market over the weekend. Now all I need to do is install the software and attach it to a chart, and right here I have installed it, and this is how it's gonna look once it gets installed. If you want to get the link to this software, I'm going to place a link underneath this video. So once you attach this software to your chart, this is what you're going to see. And all you need to do is you select new simulator. That's your account. And here you're going to specify a few things. Now it gets its data historically from either Dukascopy or TrueX or MetaTrader. I usually select Dukascopy because the data from Dukascopy is more authentic. So I select that one, and I'm always trading the New Zealand Japanese yen. Now if you want to trade other currencies, you need to select that, but this is the currency pair I normally trade. So and then I would like to go through the simulation from 2018. Now you can switch the date if you want a later date or a current date, whichever way you want it. You can just select this. So they have up till March of 2019, although you can still download more data for this. I'm going to show you how you can do that, but I would like to look at, let's say, May 2018, and I'd like to start from the 7th. So, and this is going to run through all through to 2019 if you select this checkbox. Usually I don't select it, I just leave it. And the currency, the account currency, it's going to be in New Zealand dollar. Excuse me. And the starting balance, I would like to start with a small account. Now you can go up to $10 million from this here. So minimum 10 to minimum 100 to 10 million. But I would like to go with a lower account. Let's say $10,000 should be okay. And then now the time of chart. Now this is where you specify when does the your time starts. Will it be GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, or is going to be New York close? I normally select New York close because that's when the after the New York close, the next session that's coming up is the Asian session, and that's the time frame I normally trade in. So I select the New York close, and this rewinding allowed, I always have it checked. Whatever thing that you see here and you don't understand, you have the check mark here. You just simply select it and you can read through what that particular thing means. And then now here comes the advanced setting. Now the pips size. I normally select 10 pips. Also, you can select the check mark, the question mark to read more on what to do in that location. Also, and the lot size. The lot size I normally select 100,000. And also you have the check mark here. It tells you what that is and how to set it. You can increase it if you want. You can reduce it if you want. But I will select $100,000 lot size. And then the leverage, here you can increase it. You have up till 1,000 to 1 leverage. You can reduce it to 50 if you want. You can increase it if you want, but I always leave it at 100. And the spread, for the spread, I always make sure I select a variable spread, or you could select a fixed spread if you want. You specify your spread, but I want to go according to the flow of the market for that particular period that I'm selecting. So that's why I'm selecting a variable or real variable spread. And for the commission per lot, for the commission per lot, I know my broker takes about they take about $4 per lot, so I'm going to leave that as $4 per lot. So for a round trip, that's going to cost me $8. So that's about that. You can also read through once you click the question mark, and then the initial history on chart. Now I want to look back. Let's say here it shows 15 days look back, but I would like to increase this to 365 days. Just put it 365. That's 1 year. So I want to have a look back of 1 year. So once I specify all this, the next thing I do is I click on Start Simulation. So once I select Start Simulation, now this box appears. Now this is where I will need to specify a few things. First of all, I will need to specify my charts. I normally have a few time frames which I use whenever I'm trading. So for me to create those time frames, I'll need to select charts, and then the type, standard chart, that's what I normally use. I don't use a second, Renko and range and tick chart. No, I use a standard chart. And then here is a period. So now here I'll specify the daily and the number of bars. Here we have 10,000 number of bars. I can reduce it to 5,000 if I want, or I can increase it to 100,000 if I want, and then I select add. So it's going to add that to my list here. And the next thing I'll need to do is I use the 4-hour chart as well, and I select add. It adds that. And next I use the 1-hour chart, select add, and I use also the 5-minute chart, select add, and finally I use the 1-minute chart, I select add. Like, if you're familiar with my my way of trading, you must have heard that I use the daily chart for knowing the actual trend for the day, and the 4-hour chart I use to know the who is in play. Is it the buyers or the sellers? The 1-hour chart, I use it to look at the flow of the market, because I have 2-3 hours of trading in the evening, so I look mostly the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart. And then the 5 minutes, I use that to kind of like gauge the momentum, and the 1 minute I use that to time my entry into a trade. So now we're going to place this or display these charts on our MetaTrader. So I'll need to start with the daily. So that's going to be my daily. I'm going to minimize that and rearrange it. The next is the 4-hour. It's going to be my 4-hour, and I'm going to rearrange that as well. Bring that down somewhere. And then the next is the 1-hour, and that's going to be my 1-hour, and I'm going to put that somewhere here. where is my 1 hour, and I'm gonna select my 5 minutes, and my 5 minutes I'm gonna arrange it somewhere here. And lastly, my 1 minute open. 1 minute is gonna be somewhere here. So once I have all this time frames displayed, I have the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 5 and 1 minute. Then I can close this, just close this. And then this I'll just bring it down somewhere. But I'm still going to need that later on. But I just want to organize my screen before I start trading. So this is my daily, this is my 4 hour, and this is my 1 hour, this is my 5 minutes. Just adjust this a bit, and it's here, down here, and it's here. Make sure they are all well aligned. And here is the daily. Now I need to expand this so we can see properly. Select it and expand. I'm going to switch this to a candle stick. To minimize this pop-up box, just select the minimize icon. So this is my daily, and I'm going to do the same for the 4 hour. Now what I'm doing here is just to organize my chart before I start doing any kind of trading. So that's why I am doing this. Increase. Okay, and 1 minute, make it a candlestick chart, increase it, just minimize that. I'm just going to minimize all this because I'm still going to increase that. So make it so 1 minute, and this is the 5 minute candlestick, 5 minutes. And now what I normally do is I take off these grid lines because I need to specify the day. So, and this could kind of like interrupt my flow. So I normally take off all these grid lines, and to do that you right click on an empty space, you select properties, and then here you need to remove that to not show the grid line. Now if you want to see from day to day, you have to select show period separators, and we can leave this if we want, and this one as well we can leave it if we want, or we can uncheck it, and then you show volume. So these are the things I specify, and then select on OK. So this was the previous day trade, and this was what happened, and the day is about to start, which is the Asian Open. This is the New York session here, and the day is about to start. So I do that to this and do it to all the charts that I have on my screen. So we're just going to leave that, take this one out, take this one out, put this, so on OK. That's for the 5 minutes. I'll do the same for the 1 minute. Leave that, take this one out, take this one out, and if we want to do that as well, and this one as well. Okay, so the volume, take this one out, show period separator. If we want, we can, usually I use a period separator mostly on the lower time frames, like the 1 hour, 5 minutes, and the 1 minute. I don't usually use the period separator for the daily. So I'm just going to take that one out, because usually each of this candle represents a day. And for the 4 hour, I'm just going to take out the the grid lines, and I'm just going to leave all those how they are. So this is how I set up my chart, getting ready for my trade. Now the next thing I do is to specify my lot size. Now I always trade one standard lot, so I select one standard lot, and I specify my stop loss level and my take profit level, and I always have at least 3 to 1. That is, for every dollar I'm hoping to lose in a trade, I'm hoping to gain $3. So my stop loss will be at 10, and my take profit will be at 30. So this is how I specify my my trades. And sometimes I might reduce the stop loss, sometimes I might increase the take profit, vice versa. And then another thing which I normally specify is the news. I always love to see when a news, kind of like a very important news comes up. I want to trade or stay away from that period. So I select news. So once I select news, now it's going to show this news periods. Now I always love to select the high impact news. So if I uncheck the medium impact and the low impact, it will only show the high impact news. Those are the ones I want to see on my chart. And then here is a number of displayed events. So the past 3 events will show on my chart, and then anything forward. And then the future event, it will show up to 20 future events. So all these events are going to display when it's getting close to that particular event period. So these are the things I specify. If you want the medium impact to display on your screen or on your chart, now all this is going to show on the 1 hour chart. So I'm just going to select medium impact. If I want that, you can see the medium impact news is now displaying here, but I don't need that. I only need the high impact news. And once I'm done, I simply close this box. So once that news is getting close, it's going to display on my screen. And then the next thing I need to do is to show the session. So this is the Sydney session, which is 5 o'clock New York Standard Time. The next is the Tokyo, which is at about 8:30, and then London, which is about 4:30, and then New York, which is about 8:30. These are the time zone I have. Looking at the Eastern Time, New York Eastern Time. So it's going to start with the Sydney. We start at about 5:30. So so once I select trade, now this needle will be moving, which is showing the times this period is about to start. So this is the speed. You can increase the speed, you can reduce the speed to either increase till the time of a specific time you want to trade, or you can use this to reduce the specific time you want to trade, or if you wanted to trade like normal, like every minute, like every second, and so on. So I always love to use real time. So I select real time. So this is every second, and then this is where you select the play. Once you click on this button, now it will start moving. So I'm going to click on that button. So right now we have an equity of $10,000, and the to do the trade, we simply click on this play button. So once you select that, we can see the time is now moving. So we're starting on the Monday, on the 7th of May 2018. So I want to move this a bit faster to get to the Sydney Open. So I'm going to increase this to get it moving. So we can see the time is now increasing. Now this is going to continue like this, and we can see from our chart the Asian market just opened. So this is how it's going to keep going. So now what I do is, I usually, before getting into a trade, I usually look at my levels, my resistance support levels, and from the 1 hour chart I can see that I have a resistance level at this point here. So I'm going to mark that point as a point of resistance. So I'm going to mark that as my point of resistance, and I can see a point of support level right here, but usually I don't go with the wicks, I go with the body. And to really see that, I select the line chart. So that puts me at the body. So this is where there's a possibility this might reverse at this point here. It might reverse at this point here, or get stopped at that point there. So I put it back to line chart. So these are my levels. Another level which I'll be looking at is around this point right here. This is another level because we have various support levels here. There's one here, there is two here, and there's a mini one here as well. So these are my resistance levels, because the support can become resistant, a resistance can become support. It's coming down here, it hit the first one, it bounced, it hit the second one, it bounced, and it broke through and came back, and then trying to do something here which I really don't know what this is. Anyway, these are levels which are support levels from the top here, which we need to take in consideration. Now when it's coming to this point, this could be a resistance point. So these are the levels I can see from my chart. I can decide to reduce this to check those levels. So this is what we have. So this is a huge downtrend, and right now we are right here. So that's how the market is. So I just need to be patient and see what the market will do. Now if I want to increase the speed of this market, because I trade at about between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and right now this is at 5 p.m. so I will need to increase the speed of this time. So to increase the speed, I will need to go into this and then increase the speed. Let's make it like okay, let's make it 40. So now we can see it's moving a bit faster. It's moving a bit faster. Now the next hour is about to start, and that's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll just keep watching the market, trying to see what it will do. In my mind is a huge downtrend, as we can see from our chart, from the daily, it's been on a serious downtrend, and also in the 4 hours it's been a serious downtrend. And in the daily, we can see it's starting with the seller's market. Now this could just turn around and become a buyer's market, but I would just need to watch the market and see what happens when it gets to this levels. So if I want to speed this up as well, if I'm not that very patient, I will go back here and I will increase the speed. Let's make it, okay, let's make it that, so it moves faster. And you can see the time zone now. We're in the 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so it's getting to that level, it's touching that level, it's breaking through the level. So from the daily, it shows it's a buyer's market. Now if this turns around to become a seller's market, that's when I'm going to jump into the trade. So I'm waiting, now it's become a seller's market. Now I'm selling, I'm going to sell 2, and we can see it's going down. So automatically it places my stop loss, and also it places my take profit, which is right about here. So I'll just need to monitor the market and see what happens. So I'm monitoring it. We can see the buyers came up and now they're pushing back down the market. So now it's going down, now it's touching this support level. Now I might want to close a bit of my trade or close the entire thing. To close the trade, you simply select close all, if you want to close all trades. So it's going back up again, it's going back up again, it's going back up again, going back to test that level, it's going back to test that level. So I should have taken my profit right at this point, so I got taken out. So this is a level which I should have taken my profit. To do that, you simply click on close all. So once you close all, it closes your profit target. So that's how you can use this software to trade and practice trading. So if I want to reduce the speed of this, I can just reduce it, leave it at 15. So it's not that that fast anymore. So this is what I use over the weekend when I'm training myself, harnessing my strategy before the trading day starts the following Monday. So if you're interested in getting this software, I'm placing a link underneath this video. This is a very good software which can really help you in training yourself. If you really want to trade outside of the trading periods, it's a very good software. I use it all the time to learn a new strategy or kind of like solidify my strategies during or off hours, market hours, off market hours. That's what I do when I'm training myself. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.